In this lesson, we're going to continue to explore Grasshopper and Rhino. And in the previous one, we play a little bit with booleans in various types and trimming tools and cutting tools to split elements. And we also saw the difference between the various type of solids that you can create using Grasshopper and Rhino. And so that's a Boolean difference here made with the standard solid shapes, and then we saw the sub-D solids and surfaces and also the meshes. So they can be useful for different reasons, but we can find them also in Rhino, not only in Grasshopper. So I'm going to create a new file here because I want to go back a little bit in Grasshopper and talking about some basic stuff. Try to, little by little construct more and more complex algorithms and do a little bit more complex visual scripting. So in this video, I want to show you how we can generate multiple elements using mathematical nodes or expressions or parameters, like the domain, for example. And this is the part of the mathematics, and also how we can do it with the geometry. So mathematics, I think, is the most difficult part. I mean, you either know how to work with mathematics, operations and formulas. Otherwise, you will find difficulty on all these um, tools right here. Well, you can learn a little bit. You can do some basic stuff as I'm doing. I'm not an expert, so I'm trying to study and understand a little bit better. Otherwise, you can work only with geometry, or you can do like a mixture. So what I create here is a domain just to show you a little bit. And also another tip I want to give you is use the panels. The standard panels here, nodes panel in Grasshopper, they will help you understand what's going on into a node when you create something. For example, when you construct a domain, you can see that if you look closely, this is like a number. It's one value, first of all. This is not creating like a list of values, and it's an indefinite number between 1 and 5. So we are saying, okay, there is something there which is in between 1 and 5, but we don't really know what it is. So you can see here it's giving me one value. It's not giving me like 5 values. So when you set up a domain start and domain end, here I've used some panels as numbers. It's not a list of numbers. It's just one value. Instead, if you use the range, here is where you can generate a list of values. So if I use the param viewer that we saw also in the previous lesson, you can see it's listing 11 values, 11 numbers. So one way to do multiple things is to have multiple values. And once you have that, you have a list. And once you have a list, you can choose all these commands in the sets to manage the lists. So you can sort them, you can create randomness, you can do a bunch of things. You can call, meaning that you can like delete some of the values. You can, here you find the range. So let me show you here from the beginning. So when you create a range, and also here you have other types of generating things using parameters and mathematical stuff instead of using geometry. So you have series, and then you have also like other types. So we can also see a series, and then you have like a Fibonacci. So really complex stuff, I guess. And so also random, we saw the random node. This is to create randomness instead of like having everything nice and sorted. So you can see that the range requires a domain. So you cannot put only one number here, but with the domain, you can put an indefinite series of numbers. So anyway, if I plug in a domain, so I need to construct a domain. So I'm going to go back to maths and I construct a domain. So to construct a domain, well, by default, this is going from 0 to 1. Otherwise, Again, I usually use the nodes because they are easier to see and to work with. Otherwise, you can right click and set the number. So the first number is going to be 0, the start, the end is going to be 10, 20. You can define how many numbers you want to put in there. And so now we can have a range. So what's happening here in this node? We don't know. But if we plug in a node, we can see that it's happening. What is happening is that the range is getting all the numbers in the domain and is listing them, creating essentially a list that we can work with. So creating multiple values. With the random, I can take those and randomize them around. So instead of having them sorted, I can randomize. Again, if I want to know what's happening now, I plug this in and look at what is happening here. It's creating branches for some reason. So it's randomly creating branches, and like for each branch we have a value. So if I go back here in the data viewer, in the param viewer, and then double click, I can see how many branches I have. Well, I have basically 11 branches. So with the param viewer also we can help ourselves to understand what's going on and to create more and more complex structures and data. So if I go here, and also I have a number, so I can create even more random values. Let's type here like 2. So you can see for each branch now we have 2 values. So this is again randomly generating stuff. And if I put 5, I have 5 in 11 branches. So 55 different values organized into 11 branches. And then you have seed, which is going to randomly change the generation of those numbers that are all inside the range that we define at the beginning. So they will go from 0 to 10 or 0 to 20 or whatever. Okay, so this is, again, play around, try to understand a little bit better how Grasshopper works, and then we're going to do a more practical example. So this is sort. So instead of randomly getting things, we can sort them. And then you have other, but you have so many that it's really difficult to show everything. But then you have dispatch when you want to distribute in a way. So let's use this sort. So if I take those random keys now and I again get another node with the sort, I can sort them out and put them like in a right order from the smallest to the biggest. So it takes all these random values and it reorganizes them. So you can either like divide and then creating more lists, more branches, and you can also reunite. And let's check also the series. So here we have a start, and so start, let's say that we're gonna start to 5, and then we have count, so how many elements we want in this list. So if we put 10, and now let's see what's happening. It's basically creating 10 numbers starting from 5 and then moving on. So it's a more, let's say, ordered list. And then we can also set the steps. So let me change this to 15. So we can see it's going from 5. And I'm gonna go with the step. And let's set this like to something else. So you can see if I put 3, it's going to jump from 5 to 8 and then 11, etc., etc. So it's creating numbers, but with intervals, larger intervals. And these are some examples. And also the matrix generates in mathematics, it generates kind of a table with the rows and columns. And you have construct matrix and then display matrix. So every time you create something, one way or the other, you wanna see it. You wanna see what's going on. So you either see it with the nodes or